If you watch the anime series Classroom of the Elite, you may probably wonder, how does Ayanokoji become so emotionless? If you remember, Ryan asking Ayanokoji about how he feels while fighting with him, he replies that he doesn't feel anything. Even with all that mess around him, he doesn't even show a slight change in his emotions. How to be emotionless, how to control our emotions, are one of the most asked questions on the internet. Today we are going to be answering this. 1. Focus on your mind. Before you start working toward improving your emotional control, you have to take a close look at which state you are in. If your focus is strong, you have no trouble in controlling your emotions. You set the direction and divide work into manageable chunks. To have an emotional control like Ayanokoji, you have to dedicate yourself to an environment where it's possible. Your emotional control will never mold on its own. You have to be aware of your decisions and environment. Self-awareness is the first step towards your emotional control. 2. Know what activates your emotions. There are so many emotions, such as happiness, sadness, anger, fear, etc. These all activates with certain responses, are also called as triggers. The emotional triggers that almost everyone experiences can vary slightly from person to person. They could involve flashbacks to unpleasant memories, difficult subjects, someone else's words or deeds, or even your own acts. A key step in learning to recognize your triggers involves paying attention when situations generate a strong emotional response. Once you have it, then it's time for step number 3. Emotional labeling. To put simply, emotional labeling refers to naming emotions with greater specificity and granularity. In other words, emotional labeling is the practice of cultivating emotional literacy. That is, identifying what you are feeling as you're experiencing it, in order to create distance from your reaction. Instead of opting for vague surface-level descriptors like unfine, unokay, you lean into the highly complex spectrum of emotions available, which allows you to be more effective, conscious, and productive. Studies showing that emotional labeling provides emotional clarity, giving you a deeper understanding of what happened, how it affects you, and helps you see the possibilities for what to do next. Be aware. Incorrectly diagnosing our emotions makes us respond incorrectly. If we think we need to attend to anger, we'll take a different approach than if we're handling disappointment. 4. Detach yourself from the situation. Detach from a situation means becoming less attached to the things happening around you, reevaluating your perception of your connection to the situation, and adjusting the level of emotional investment you have to maintain. It means that looking from out of the box. In other words, looking without feeling. When you do this, you have a clear view of what needs to be done to get what you want. 5. Opposite action technique. This is a technique that involves choosing to do exactly the opposite of what your emotions tell you to do. We all have emotions that can lead us to make choices we'd rather not make. That's because, at that time, your emotions override the logical part of your brain. In short, a particular emotion is directing the show, urging you to take a particular course of action. However, instead of acting on those emotions, you can use opposite action instead. Let us say you are with your enemy, making plans to invade them without their conscience. You have to be calm in such situations. If you show them anxiety, then you are doomed. By following these steps, I'm sure you'll control your emotions like Ayanokoji within no time. Be sure to subscribe for more. See you soon.